Today, I want to talk about renting properties. As a property investor, you are going to need to get tenants for your properties, and you're going to need to get someone to find these tenants. These people are going to be the property managers or leasing agents for your residential properties. My name is Thomas O'Regan. Over the last 3.5 years, me and my wife have built a large property portfolio. We've bought many, we've sold a few, and today we have 7 properties. We just sold 4, and I'm going to buy a large commercial property very shortly. Now, what I want to talk about today is property managers, how to find them, how to pick them, how do you know which ones to choose. Now, when it comes to property managers and especially leasing agents, you definitely want a hunter. A hunter is going to find you the highest and best price, the best tenant for your property. And when they find that tenant, they are not going to stop until that tenant has signed the contract to move into your property. Now, why is this important? It's important because the best tenants probably will be looking at multiple properties on that same day or in the same week, and they might like all of them. And if they're busy people, these tenants, and they don't have time to call every single agent, they might just go with the property that the agent is proactive enough to call them and guide them along the process of becoming a tenant for your particular property. That's why it's important to get a hunter. That's why getting a good property manager, a good leasing agent is super important. Now, on the flip, and this example is, for probably like a hot property market, and on the flip side, if you're in a soft property market, that is when you're going to need a good property manager or a good leasing agent even more. Like, I need to stress, property managers, leasing agents are one of the most critical parts of a property, like a property investor's team, because they, like, the property management process, the leasing, the finding the tenant is literally the most stressful process. Like, every day, every week you don't have a tenant, you are effectively losing money. And if you just have someone that's like a dead fish property manager, they just put a terrible ad up and they just wait and they pray, and then they get phone calls and they don't even answer their phone calls, and then they go to the property inspection and they hold a property inspection and they just sit there on their phone, or they stand out front of the property while the prospects are walking through and they don't get any feedback from the property. That is 100% what you don't want. But I was talking about a hot property market before, and renting out a property in a hot property market. Now let's think about a cold property market, a soft property market. Say you are renting out a property and only 1 or 2 people come to this inspection. That is when a good property manager, a good leasing agent is going to shine even harder, because if only 1 person rocks up to the property inspection, the prospect tenants don't have the fear of missing out. For some weird reason, human psychology, if there are 10 people at an inspection, generally it will encourage each one of those people to apply. It's more likely that more people are going to apply, and there's going to be a bit of competition. I don't know why. People just like competition. I haven't figured it out yet. Like, I'm not really like that, to be honest, personally, but it's just human nature. People are like that. They want to compete. They want to be where other people are. They want to line up in the line where other people are going. They want to, go to Waterworld and line up in the line that's got 150 people. They don't want to line up for the ride that's got 0 people lined up for it. Not because the ride's better, just because, perceived that the longer line is better. Enough about that. But if there is just 1 person rocking up to your open home inspection for prospect tenants, you're gonna need, sorry, that's my dog in the background. You're gonna need a property manager that is super active in engaging this person, finding out what they don't like about the property, and negotiating them to become a tenant if they are the right fit. And I'm going to drop it there, guys. Hopefully this helped you if you are thinking about investing in property. Understand property managers, leasing agents, super important. Find the best one for you. Interview as many as you can, and you will know after you interview 10 of them which ones are good and which ones aren't. See ya. Bye.